All right, guys. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Come on in. We have got a full docket tonight. Let's see who is in the chat. Yes, I am back. Good evening. I already hit that like. Yes, hit that like as you come on in. So that YouTube will recommend this. And also, let me just put this off real quick. Also, if you want to contribute, if you want to tip the judge or the jury, whatever we want to call me today. My Cash App is Miss Red Wine there. Now, as I always like to start, let's go ahead and do my little share. Don't forget, you can always book a consultation with me. Here we are at SimoneRedwine.com. And there you can both order my ebook, which is Background Checks 101, the guide to finding out who the heck you're actually dealing with, as well as you can book a consultation with me if you click right up top where it says Book Simone for $149 for a 30-minute consultation right now to start. So there we go. We'll start there. We have a full docket. So here's what we've got on the docket today. Let us know where you're viewing from. Yes, get it. Okay, so we've got the Diddy documentary. We're going to talk about that. It is a real thing. Blac Chyna, y'all, was sued for $10 million. And I know she got it. As well as, is Gotti on the run? Because young Dolph murder trial was concluded today, at least with respect to one of the defendants. Justin was found, I think it's Justin Smith. He was found guilty. So we'll talk about that. Oops, here we go. Justin Johnson was found guilty, as well as an update on the lawsuit between Stormi and her former COO, Kyle. Poor Cal. Poor little tick, y'all. I'm worried about Cal. And, Mayor Eric Adams, that Southern District of New York is busy. Mayor Eric Adams was indicted last night. The charges were unsealed. And we're going to talk about just how stupid these charges are, allegedly. No, the charges are stupid. If he did this stuff, it was very stupid of him, because we'll get into that why. And then lastly, of course, we're going to conclude with Cardi and Offset, y'all. There is some legality there. There is some legal stuff that really kind of all flows together that we're going to talk about there. Ooh. Let me make sure I get it. All right, so let's just start with, put this share back up. Definitely want me to break down the young Dolph trial. Yes. Why do folks keep messing with the Southern District of New York? I'm wondering the same thing. That's not where you want to commit your crime. Look, if you want to commit your crime, take yourself to California. They're very lenient there, or more lenient, I would say. Take yourself someplace like that, to like California, maybe Seattle. I heard they're very lenient there. But you don't want to go there anywhere but, here we go. Yeah. There we are. All right. So first off, it is true. It is true that it's happening. The 50 Cent documentary is official. It is being produced by, it's the 50 Cent documentary on Diddy. Now, I need y'all's help. I want to be one of the legal analysts in this. So if y'all could just tag 50 Cent every now and then and be like, y'all need to have my legal bestie, Attorney Simone, in this documentary, baby, because I'll break it down. Because, 50 has long had a tumultuous, basically, he don't mess with Diddy. He does not mess with Diddy. He doesn't mess with the behaviors of Diddy. And he said for years that Diddy does weird stuff. He's never been to a Diddy party. According to 50, he said he's never been there, but he's heard all about it. I mean, as have most of us who've heard about it. I've never been to one, but I knew they do some freaky stuff up over there. I did know that. And so, I'm pretty sure that 50 Cent has also had some business dealings because Diddy is one of those people where if he don't like you, he will try to ruin you. If he feels you don't respect him, and we now know he's done a lot of things that don't deserve respect, Diddy will try to show you. I could see that he would probably try and make certain albums more difficult, tell people not to work with 50, but we don't get that tea. Anyway, tell 50 he needs to let me help you, 50. I can help you. I'm the one. Hit that like button. Yes, absolutely, guys. Hit that like button. All right, we also got next up. All right, Miss Blac Chyna. Oh my word, y'all. Blac Chyna is being sued by someone who claims to be her ex for allegedly $10 million. Now, the amount is not alleged. The offense is alleged. So here's what she's alleged to have done. It says, in the lawsuit that was obtained by TMZ, the man who calls himself twin Hector. Okay. His first name is Twin. Okay. Twin claims that during their 3-year relationship, Blac Chyna would physically abuse him. He says that while living in LA, things hit the fan in 2001 and she brutally hurt him in his sleep. Twin says she pinned him down and hit him with her knees, fists, and elbows. He included a photo of the alleged aftermath of the assault, which showed gruesome injuries to his face. He recounts Chyna having a doctor come to the home while she still had blood on her hands. Twin also shared that it wasn't the first time and that the outbursts were normally fueled by drugs and alcohol. Now, she's now stated she doesn't do drugs anymore. I don't know that she drinks, but she found God and is making a change. Yeah, beating him in his sleep, right? Twin also shared it wasn't the first time and outbursts were normally fueled by drugs and alcohol. It apparently went as far as Chyna trying to strangle him and attack him with kitchen utensils, phones, furniture, etc. He even mentioned supposed claims from Rob Kardashian and his family from their case. Thank you, Carmelita, for purchasing my book. Going back to this, Rob, in the lawsuit that Blac Chyna brought against the Kardashians, where she was accusing them of defamation. One of their in that their defamation, the lies that they spread was why her and Rob's show got canceled. The family defended themselves by saying, no, your show got canceled in part because you used to beat the crap out of Rob. And we told producers that we didn't think y'all should be recording if you treated him that way. Now, I absolutely believe she would beat the stuffings out of these men. Look who her mama is. Tokyo Toni would fight a cat. She would fight a dog. Tokyo Toni would fight a baby. Okay? So she got it honest. Let me keep reading. It says, Blac Chyna has a propensity for verbal abuse and extreme physical violence through her to her domestic partners and others, primarily when she consumes alcohol. If you recall, back in 2022, Rob testified Blac Chyna abused him too. According to Twin, Chyna thinks she can hit on men with no consequences, so he's suing her for $10 million. It is a shocking experience for any man to go through, being attacked by a female aggressor in a domestic violence context and knowing they can't fight back or even defend themselves for fear of being mislabeled falsely the de facto aggressor. Every day in America, men suffer what are often brutal injuries, but many lack the courage to come forward and protect their legal rights. So I want to know in the chat, do y'all think she really did it? Do y'all think Blac Chyna did this to that man? Sorry to say it, but if Tokyo Toni is your mama, anything is possible. I mean, that poor girl was raised by wolves. Blac Chyna was literally raised by a wolf. We have 300 in the chat, but we only have 104 likes. Can we get some more likes going? Somebody, wait, Glam Girl said Tokyo is a cat, an alley cat. I mean, those are some blows, baby. Those are some blows. But are you guys at all familiar with this guy, Twin? I don't remember Twin Hector. I don't remember that relationship being no 3 years. He says that's a 3-year relationship. Of course, part of my questioning is, okay, why now? Why are you suing now? Now, I have not read the complaint, the petition yet. I'm working on doing that. But the injuries look horrible. They look horrific. If that was, here we go. I'm going to put it bigger on the screen. Yeah, I mean, if that was a woman, we'd all be coming to her aid, asking no questions pretty much based on the photos. And here we know she has a propensity for this. We know it because, robbing them. I mean, I'm sure the Kardashians lie. We know that. Sometimes they don't be telling the whole truth. I mean, look at Kylie's face. But still, I believe those accusations with regards to her going off on Rob. Somebody said he's probably a TikTok artist. He could have gotten, He could have gotten her arrested back then. What is the date on the photo? Great question. Yeah, the court will be able to determine and will force them to disclose the date of the photo. Is this a photo from back when they were together or what? But just like they asked women, why didn't you call the police then? What is it now? Like, I would want to know, are you suffering from continual injuries from this? Like, do you have headaches? Do you have concussion, brain injury like symptoms? What is it about your life today that made you say no, that made you say, okay, I want to sue her today? No, I didn't see 2001. This happened. It says things hit the fan in 2021. So I may have said that. If so, it was incorrect. So this happened in 2021, and now 3 years later. Now, California, if I remember correctly, I believe they have a 3-year statute of limitations for these kinds of things. So it could be that his attorney and her attorney were going back and forth to try and resolve this and couldn't. But here's the thing I want you guys to know. When you're suing for damages, when you're saying, okay, I want these millions of dollars, the millions have to be associated with your injuries. You don't get to just pull a number out of your butt and be like, oh, okay, well, my pinky thumb was injured, but emotionally, I'm super injured. I want 10 million. No, if you want emotional damages, right? Because I'm going to guess that his medical bills might at the most have been like, let's say 10,000, 20,000. If the rest of that 10 million you want is emotional distress, guess what the challenge is? You got to show you were emotionally distressed, and not from anything else happening in your life, but from this situation. So specifically, you got to do things like go to therapy. And I hate to say it, but the truth of the matter is Black men don't like going to therapy. They do not like going to therapy. And so unless he's got, for example, consistent therapy records where he talked about getting beat up, getting punched, getting hurt by her, and he went to therapy consistently, nah, baby, you sure not finna get no 10 million. And now that he's filed the lawsuit publicly, it would be more difficult for him to get a nominal amount just to make it go away. Because with these kind of allegations, asking for this type of money, she's better off fighting. She's better off paying the lawyer than paying this man if 10 million is what he wants. Like in Describe says 10 million. It says 3 years is a short SOL. No, that's actually long. Short is 1 year. A state like Tennessee, gosh, Tennessee drives me crazy. Tennessee has 1 year. Texas has 2 years. But some places such as Washington, D.C. has 3 years. And I think California does too. So there we go. All right. So next up, all right, Justin Johnson is the defendant that was found guilty of unaliving young Dolph. He shares a message on social media following being sentenced for taking young Dolph's life. He says, I'm taking street responsibility. You can throw away the keys before I ever eat the cheese. Meaning before I'm a rat. In other words, this goof troop candidate, I'm so irritated with these people. This goof troop candidate is effectively saying, I didn't do it, but I'm not going to rat and tell you who did. Well, okay, stupid, then sit there. Sit there, dummy. We're on to this part of the docket, y'all, is I'm going to go ahead and put this back up. This part of the docket is the young Dolph case. This is just crazy to me. So, okay, rather than being a rat, you're going to take a life sentence. That's what he was sentenced to, guys, for an unaliving that you didn't commit. First of all, you're lying. So he was supposed to be in the car with the, I believe with the lead person who did it, the main person who did it, or he was the one carrying the gun. I can't recall. There's video. There's video. But here's what I wanted to speak to today. I think I'm going to do a more extensive video where I'm delving deeper into it. This all started from a beef between Yo Gotti and young Dolph. So they are both from Memphis. Now, arguably, they say that Dolph really isn't from Memphis, although he lived there a long time. He's from another city, whatever. He claims Memphis. And Yo Gotti allegedly wanted to sign Dolph to his independent label. And Dolph was like, no, I don't want to be signed to yours. And that pissed Gotti off, and Gotti was upset. Dolph continued to progress independently. Now, this was interesting to hear that because Gotti created his album and preferred to be independent because of the flexibility. But allegedly, so Gotti then, as I said, Gotti then was supposed to be upset that he didn't want to sign to the label. And so in turn, they had consistent beef. Over the years since their beef started, which was around 2016, Dolph had been pow-powed on at least 3 separate occasions. On one occasion, his Sprinter van was pow-powed more than 81 times. When I tell you they was looking for the man, 81 times they pow-powed his Sprinter. Luckily, it was a bulletproof vehicle because God loved him, right? I mean, he loves everybody, but that day, he was just really showing out. Pow-powed him on that day. And then that evening went and performed at the concert. This was out of town. It was in North Carolina, I believe, where his vehicle got pow-powed 80 sometimes. And he was still alive, and then goes and performs at the show. I'm sorry. If I'm part of your stage crew, if I'm part of your anything, that's the day I'm going to put in my letter of resignation. Okay. I'm going to have to go on Family Medical Leave Act. That is the day to file for stress leave, guys. If you're actually an employee and your job gets lit up, stress leave. Trust me, get paid to not come to work. But he continued then. Then there was another incident where he was someplace, I believe it was in Memphis or a different city, where he was with a group of people. There was a fight that ensued, blah, 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 blah. He got pow-powed twice and survived. And then it was this instance that happened as he was going to pick up some cookies for his family. Now, y'all, let me show you some of this evidence from this ghetto trial, this ghetto butt trial. Look at this, y'all. Look at this. Y'all, this is what was in his pockets. God bless his heart. He had this cash. And I don't know if you ever see this little square shiny thing. Condoms. He had condoms. Y'all, why somebody on Twitter said, Lord have mercy, the clothing and belongings young Dolph has on him when he was pow-powed down. This lady said, child, a condom would have had me digging him up in his grave. How would you have felt? I'll put it big on the screen. Y'all look at this. How would you have felt? Oh, he was engaged. If your fiance is pow-pow leaving you with 2 kids, and they find condoms and it wasn't 3, because don't they come in a 3-pack? I don't really be knowing. It come in it's like a 3. You can't buy you just one. I don't think you can buy that kind in a single dose. Because if you take one of those, you probably want to go toe to toe, back to back type of thing. Is what a guess is, just an educated guess there. But here, look at it, y'all. Look at the zoom. It's only one of them. That means he done used at least 2 of them. Lord, let's not talk about the dead. I'm just saying. Let's let the evidence speak for itself. But going back to, multiple people had tagged me and they asked me, what are your thoughts on this? Should Angela Simmons stay away from them? Here's why. Because this guy, the dummy, Justin Johnson, who was found guilty of this, and then said he's rather be a rat. And Justin Johnson, said he'd rather not be a rat, etc. So Justin was paid by Yo Gotti's brother. So the 2 guys who did it were supposed to be paid $100K from Yo Gotti's brother, who is the CEO of Yo Gotti's record company, or the assistant, the vice CEO. He was an executive of the label. So the question is, okay, well, was Yo Gotti part of this? Was he part of the mastermind? Well, honey, we will never know. The reason we're not going to know is because the brother was unalived himself. I mean, this is just a ghetto hip opera. Everybody is gone. It was just retaliation after retaliation. So someone related to, they think that someone related to young Dolph's crew found out that he was the main orchestrator of it, and they took him out. Y'all, they took him out as he was at a funeral repast for one of his boys or loved ones, one of his people. He was at their funeral repast, and they said, I mean, the streets of Memphis were crazy hot. So as a result of that, now initially, TMZ did report that Yo Gotti was a person of interest with respect to the investigation into young Dolph's passing. But then it seems like maybe Yo Gotti's attorneys and people went to the police department and was like, hey, clear my client. Because then later down the line, the police were actually contacted by media outlets, and they said, no, Yo Gotti at this time is not a person of interest. So again, his brother, who was the person who actually paid at least one of the two guys, who's supposed to pay each of them $50K, and actually did pay one of the two guys attorney $50K. The other guy claims he didn't get his money or what have you. But the question is, Angela Simmons, is she in trouble? Now, we all know Angela. Angela is kind of like, I've never met her, of course, but it seems that Angela is a bit like a bit like Jennifer Williams, but like not stupid. You know what I mean? If you know what I mean. All right. In that I won't say a shelter life, but she lived a privileged life, but she likes hood dudes. Remember how she used to lie and call herself a virgin, and then she pops up pregnant with an illegitimate child? Oh, it's like such an old people word. A child without, being married to the dad. And then that dude was a felon and had all kind of issues. And then he ended up passing away from being pow-powed in the driveway of his home. Sutton. He was like, some people, they allege he was like a scammer, actually, to be honest. And people got tired of scamming him, and some, people were upset with him. That was her baby daddy. Now she's with Yo Gotti. And the question is, that girl is not going to listen. That girl is not going to listen to nobody. She might like that thug life. She might like that exciting life. And now it's like corporate thug life. So can't tell that little girl nothing. You can't tell her nothing till the feds come knocking on the door. Now, when those feds come to her door, you better believe her daddy is going to snatch her up and say, that's enough of this. That's enough of this little hood rat thing. Those hood rat things with your friends. Time's up, little girl. Get over here. We got to pray for you. Thank you. Sutton Tennyson was his name, and the son is named after him. Oh, he was a cute man. They just said it was Christian. Somebody said it's Christian in jail. Christian go, of course he's in jail. Yes. He had to go back after his little rendezvous, his international rendezvous, and to go visit little booty pals back in the jail cell. They were warming it up for him. Flip said Angela likes her a soldier. They don't seem real. It seems very Hollywood. Driver's seat. So I don't know. What do you think? I want to hear from you guys. Do you think Angela should try and distance herself from Gotti? It's hard when you are in love, baby. But I'll do anything for my man except for go to jail for him. I'm not going to jail for you. And then if you go to jail, I'm going to have to give me another boyfriend. I think that's just common courtesy. That's common courtesy. If you love me, you understand I have needs to be met. And while you are locked up, like Diddy and those behind me, I got needs. There's only so much a rose can do. No. And that's not even conditional love. I can love you from your jail cell. Okay, but I just need to do it in the air conditioning of my home. It's just common courtesy. Wait, somebody said she likes that corporate thug life. MD said, or Angela is going to Bali with Uncle Rush. She's going somewhere. Baby, if you're going somewhere, that doesn't even make any sense. That doesn't even make any sense. All right. So that's what it is regarding the Young Dolph trial as we have it for now. That's the conclusion for now. There's no other persons of interest to my knowledge. They are not looking into Yo Gotti. They are not looking into Angela Simmons. There are some bloggers that are reporting that Yo Gotti is on the run. I don't think so. I think he really likes his money. And if he's running anywhere, it's to a Caribbean island to relax with Angela's big old booty. Okay. I wish the two of them the best. But I also, Angela, don't go to jail for nobody. Okay, sweetie, you're not going to do well in there. No, it's not for you. That's not your ministry. All right. Next up, we are going to add the Stormi lawsuit. All right. So if you recall, Stormi from Love and Marriage Huntsville and her COO, Kyle Ivanko, were going at it as far as, not even going at it. Kyle took to social media to tell the world in the court of public opinion about how wrong she had done him, how he had slaved for 18 months for her company and just given it his all and this, that, and the third. And that she just did him so wrong. And that in the end, she only offered him 1 month's salary and wanted him to sign away all of his rights to the company. And then we read the documents and the true petition, because what happens is he filed his lawsuit first in federal court. The next day, because you file and it doesn't necessarily, the other person will not immediately know. They don't know until they get served. So he filed like on a Wednesday night. for example, and she filed Thursday morning in Huntsville State Court. Well, if you read both of their complaints together, and for those that are in my membership, I will happily, if you want me to, I will put those in the membership. If you read what I do when I want to try to figure out the truth, because as we say, it's always somewhere in between. You read both complaints together. And one thing both complaints make clear is his salary, this 27-year-old boy, at the time he was actually like 25 or 26, his starting salary was $10,000 a month working from home. Woo! Baby, that's real good. He was there to do like digital stuff for Canvas Beauty, Stormi's company. And this is Stormi from Love and Marriage, Huntsville. This company, Canvas Beauty, that she has been in existence for about 5 years prior to Kyle coming as a consultant for $10,000 a month to help. He worked there for 3 months at $10K a month, and then he was doing a good job. He said he was going to get rid of all of his other clients, work exclusively for her at $30,000 per month. So she ups his salary to $30,000. Let me tell you about the kinds of things I would be willing to do at 25 years old for $30,000. The kinds of things I would be willing to do with my clothes on. I mean, my dad is in the other room, so I'm not going to like go into detail, but they are going to be strange. They're going to be odd. And I may or may not be, losing a little bit of my dignity. But that's a really good price, a really good salary to be making at 25 years old, $30K a month, and you get to work virtually. You can work, you got in your panties. So he's making that, and basically he's making that for 18 months. And then according to his documents and hers, he was acting as the COO, the chief marketing person, and as well the CFO, like doing the finance stuff. And then the two of them, they get into an argument, and he says, you know what? I'm going on leave, and I don't know when I'll be back. What? I own my own law firm. And if I had hired someone to be my COO, who was also doing CFO work and chief marketing work, and that person says, I'm going to go on indefinite leave, and I don't know when I'm coming back, I say, okay, we got to replace you. So that's what happened. He did not like it. So this man at the $30,000 a month, and by the way, he's making the $30,000 a month. And according to his initial version, he's saying, she then sent me a termination letter after I told her I was going on leave. This is not a leave that is protected by FMLA or anything like that. When you are a contractor with a company or even an employee, if you want to use FMLA or something, you have to submit doctor's notices, all of that. None of that's alleged. Well, it was alleged that in addition to the $30K a month, this little boy got $2.7 million from the company. And there was no contract in place. And he's now suing for more. He's now suing, and I really had to read this over like 2 or 3 times because I was like, surely this isn't correct. He's suing now because he says that he has an verbal, unwritten agreement to own 30% of Canvas Beauty, which was in existence for 5 years prior to his coming to the company. So these were the facts. Yeah, Stormi from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Thank you. We've got almost 600 in the chat. Hit that like. So these are his claims. Now he's super excited. So he filed his lawsuit where he's basically asking that the court grant him 30% of the profits of this company for the rest of his life, even though he didn't buy into it. And if you ever watch Shark Tank, someone will say, hey, I'm offering this amount of equity in exchange for this dollar investment, right? Or the only time you don't have to give a dollar investment is if you create the company together from scratch, which wasn't what happened here. And then secondly, he is saying that he's entitled to a 30% bonus on the profit. So 30% of the value of the company, and then 30% of the profits for the rest of his life. Yeah, you heard her. Everyone, let's hit those likes. Thank you. Yeah, so that's what he's arguing. Now, he filed his lawsuit first. She filed hers. He's excited. He posted this online as an example of his victory. And I'm going to show you why I'm concerned about him and his legal team. All right. He posts legal update. Now this document, and I'm going to show you the document below. The document is a notice of dismissal filed by Stormi's legal team. Now it says, legal update. The bogus lawsuit filed against me in retaliation and to intimidate me is being dismissed. The same one that had a process server pounding on my door just before 10 p.m., 3 nights in a row. First 2 nights leaving before I had an opportunity to open the door. Then he says, I'll take some time, but I'm actually very much looking forward to my day in court. So he's saying, legal update, the bogus suit against me has been dismissed. Filed against me in retaliation has been dismissed. All right. Now here's the truth. If you look at the document, you see here, it says, pursuant to the rules, the plaintiff files this notice of dismissal without prejudice, concurrently pending in the Northern District of Alabama. That's the lawsuit that Kyle filed, is a separate federal court lawsuit initiated by Kyle in which Canvas intends to proceed to prosecute its claims. In other words, unfortunately, it's not the one that he thinks it is. The truth is, it simply means that they've decided to pursue it in federal court versus state court. Let me tell you, this was genius. We're talking about Huntsville, Alabama. Okay. Huntsville, Alabama federal court is going to be so much more conservative. And it's going to have, and it's not just Huntsville, it's going to have some Burlington and others. This is a happy, eager, cute little gay boy who is in his 20s talking about he should be owed millions of dollars from this Alabama-based company that he didn't found, he didn't, all of those things. I say this to say, you got to know your venues, y'all. And when you look and evaluate your venues, the last place as a gay boy who's already been given $3 million and wants a bunch more that I'd be wanting to deal with a case is in federal court in the Huntsville, Alabama area. No, ma'am, no, sir. No, ma'am, no, sir. Absolutely not. So, and the truth is, all of those things matter. The less you look like a juror, the less they want to give you. Okay. The more you look like them, the more they will empathize with you generally. So that's why if it's a person of color as a plaintiff, you generally want people of color on your jury. It just varies like that. Electric Lady said she is not lying about Alabama federal court. The other thing, very conservative, yet. And the other thing about conservative courts, they don't like giving people windfalls of money. They don't like awarding millions to people. In this instance, he worked for 18 months and he was paid over $3 million from age like 25 to 27, something like that, 26 to 28, whatever it is. Because they're such hardworking people, they do not like awarding millions unless your body is mangled, you're hit by an 18-wheeler, like you got to really come with the injuries. For what does this entitled weirdo get all this money? Oh gosh, he will learn the hard way. He's in his 20s. Yeah, no, he's in his 20s. Somebody said he's living above his means and needs the money to survive. Well, here's the other thing that makes me nervous, that his attorneys had not explained to him that dismissal, it's procedural and it's because that's what the law requires, which is this. Whichever venue files suit first is generally the venue you're going to proceed in. However, in cases like this, even if Stormi had filed in state court first, he always has the option to remove to federal court because the amount in current controversy is over $75,000, and put myself back up here because the amount at issue is over $75,000, and because he and Stormi are from 2 different states. What does this brat get? Why did this brat get paid like that? Yeah, she was really generous. But I think, so here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that was interesting to me. When I'm reading that he states he was doing the work of the CFO and the COO, etc. And then on her petition, she says one of the issues she was upset about was that he was tasked with helping to find and hire the new CFO. And after months and months, he didn't do it. Why do you think someone making $30,000 a month plus received a bonus of 30% profit? The 2 bonuses he stated were, there was a bonus in December, last December, of $300,000 on top of the $30K a month, and then a bonus just 3 weeks before he filed suit of $2.4 million. Why do you think that person wouldn't want to hire a CFO? The CFO with any sense would say, hey, you're paying him too much. Hey, don't you dare give a bonus under this structure. That's not how this works. You see how this works? Also, you see how this works? Somebody he finessed it. I mean, clever. Let the facts of this case speak for itself. If he is owed unpaid income, his records they really will. And that's what I'm interested in seeing later in the case, because from his documents, he does not have a contract listing these things, but he does reference things like text messages or audio calls. So that's where we're going to get our juice, guys. That's where there's going to be more tea revealed. And then finally, I'm going to say this. When you are a person like him, when you're an employee or contractor, whichever, under these kind of contracts, what you want to do is this. There is something called default insurance that you can get. So let's say you're a contractor and you have this $1 million contract with somebody. You can literally buy an insurance policy that says if for some reason these people do not pay you, and if you've done the work and they don't pay you, the insurance company will pay you 99% of what was owed to you. That's number one. So Kyle, if you didn't have, for example, if you were owed the shares and the this and the that, baby, if you had that default insurance, boom, that would be in play. The other thing you have to worry about is this is not, I want people to be clear. Generally, this is not the kind of case that you can take, that attorney takes on contingency. Meaning this young man is likely having to pay an attorney an hourly rate to pursue this case. And so you have to be strategic, because then you're going against a company like Canvas Beauty. They likely have some type of insurance in place that would cover employment-based litigation suits. In other words, all Canvas will have to do is pay a deductible, and then their legal team will beat the brakes and paper the brakes off of you. I say paper because they file motions and motions. So basically, they have an unlimited amount. It's kind of like if you're in a car accident, right? If you were in a car accident and you hit somebody, then, and even if your insurance company says, yeah, my client was at fault, I was at fault, they're still going to go to trial to fight if they feel like, oh, well, you were only hurt $10,000 worth, but you're demanding $1 million. All I have to do is pay my little $500 deductible, and they are going to litigate against you for years. You see what I'm saying? So if you have a fixed income, you need to keep that in consideration when you're going against a corporation, because if he's not careful, he is going to end up spending every dime of that $3 million that he earned on litigation costs. Baby, the way I would be like, okay, can we compromise? Can I just say something nice about you on social media and I go my way and you go your way, and thank you for the $3 million? Because baby, what you don't want to do is the one time you get a windfall, end up losing it on lawyer fees and then lose your case. Not worth it. Not worth it. Back to the docket. All right. So we got, wrong one. Back to the docket. We did a Stormi lawsuit. Eric Adams. All right. We're going to do Eric Adams, and we're going to close it out with Cardi B, y'all. So Eric Adams, this gentleman. All right. Here we go. I'm going to share this one. So Mayor Eric Adams is now facing, here we go. He is facing approximately up to 20 years in prison is what it's looking like, a minimum of 5 for various counts. I'm going to play this clip for you that breaks it down a little more. And I want you to just to hear how stupid. I want you to understand. We're going to play this clip and then we're going to go into the dumb things that he did. Now, here's the context. As the mayor, he makes about $280,000 a year, and he doesn't have to pay for housing because he has the option to live in Gracie Mansion, which he has done. So really, all you got to do is be mayor for like 4 years. If you win a second term, that's great. If not, not. And then you can go to these private entities that can pad your pockets all day. You can be a lobbyist. I just got back from the CBC, Congressional Black Caucus. When I tell you, so many of those lobbyists were former state reps, former, Congress people, blah, 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 blah. That's what he could have done. Here's what this goof troop man did instead. And I do have it playing at like 1.5 speed.
Now to a historic indictment in New York City. Mayor Eric Adams is resisting calls to step down after federal prosecutors laid out explosive corruption charges against him in a 57-page court document. Adams, a Democrat and former police captain, is now the city's first mayor to be charged with federal crimes, including bribery. And he could face a judge as early as tomorrow to enter a plea. As CBS's Nikki Batiste reports, the allegations go back years before Adams took control of America's largest city.
The foreign money, the corporate money, the bribery, the years of concealment is a grave breach of the public's trust.
United States Attorney Damian Williams says New York City Mayor Eric Adams' alleged bribery scheme involving at least one government official and several businessmen in Turkey began nearly a decade ago.
The mayor sought and accepted well over $100,000 in luxury travel benefits. He told the public he received no gifts, even though he was secretly being showered with them.
Prosecutors say Adams used straw donors or third parties to accept illegal foreign campaign donation. Those contributions led to $10 million in public matching funds to his campaign. They also allege that in September 2021, a Turkish official told Adams it was his turn to repay them, asking Adams to pressure the New York Fire Department to allow a recently built Turkish skyscraper in Manhattan to open without being inspected. What stuck out to you about the indictment?
The gravity of the charges, the complexity of the scheme, and the efforts that went right up until recently to conceal the alleged crimes.
Adams is charged with 5 counts of bribery, fraud, and soliciting illegal foreign campaign donations.
It's an unfortunate day, and it's a painful day.
If convicted, he could face up to 45 years in prison. Adams maintains his innocence.
45.
And I ask New Yorkers to wait to hear our defense before making any judgments.
Y'all, at this press conference, it was so wild. Because he was making it, apparently Eric was making it about race. And there was some black man in the audience saying, this ain't got nothing to do with race. You're a crook. You're a crook. And he kept hollering those things. So yes, as one of the viewers had said, they've been investigating him for years. They've been looking into him. Like, he knows this. In the text messages that are listed in the indictment, it was like so juvenile. They're like, hey, I can delete my text messages. Listen, stupid. They clearly got your messages. Okay. So why would you even go through that? And y'all, the majority of what he took, so like 100,000 of what he received was dumb things like first class flights on Turkish Airlines. Boo boo. I got some freaking flyer miles I could have gave you that would have been a lot cheaper, honey. Okay. 100,000, like, because what it is if you get, let's say Turkey flies you over, Turkish Airlines is owned majority by the Turkish government. You just have to disclose it in your documents. You have to say, this benefit was given to me. I didn't pay for it. Now, the problem becomes people are going to look at you and be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. This is a lot of money that you've received from a particular government. We now have concerns. And then there are also rules with just simply not being able to receive money from other governments if it's like for your campaign, which he did, and things like that. But in another video, I'm going to do a video where I compare these allegations against Eric Adams to those with Clarence Thomas, who received approximately $1 million in benefits from people whose cases were before the Supreme Court. So we want to talk about what that looks like. Both black men, but the difference is the Supreme Court role, lifetime appointment, and there's no ethical oversight committee for the Supreme Court. You get to just sit there and be a crook. It's just assumed that the people on that court, because it's so rare to be there, that they are above reproach. Hell to anybody Trump. Let me shut up. Okay, we're not gonna go there because this is not necessarily political. Well, I was there. Anybody that man would appoint a reproach, I think he would tap dance on Jesus's grave. I have no faith in them. Hit that like and hit that share, y'all. So yeah, so that's the gist of the allegations and the dumb, goofy things that he's done, when really he could have just sat still. Like 280,000 is not, you would be fine for 4 years. Sure, after that, before that, you were the Brooklyn borough president making $180K in New York. You know, you had some rental properties. You would have been just fine. You just got greedy. Oh, also, they referenced that a lot of the travel was with another woman that he took. If y'all can help me figure out who she is, I'm real nosy. I'd love to see who she is. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Electric Lady. I really appreciate that. And before we go to our final topic, Cardi B and Offset, I want to answer. Oh, there were 2 good questions that were up. This is for the prior segment on Stormi. He's a scammer. However, he did turn her company around. She is now selling out of products because of him. I hear you. And Cheryl the Pearl says her company, talking about Stormi from Love and Marriage Huntsville, her company was falling apart and he turned her company around. If he's entitled to more money, I hope he gets every penny. I'm always for the worker bee. I am always for the worker and the worker getting what any employer is supposed to give them, because so often they squeeze it out. But I do want to be clear on this. When you're dealing with a contractor, contractors' jobs are to come into a company and turn it around. Independent consultant, sorry. Consultant's job are to, I'm going to come into your business. I'm going to turn it around. In exchange, you're going to pay me a premium. So if I'm coming in as your digital marketing specialist, you're not going to pay me the same as an in-house marketer on salary. I'm probably going to charge you 3 times more because I am teaching you how to build out your department or build out your whatever. So I say that to say, because the job of that person is to turn things around, and then you hire someone at a much lower salary. So like the person, if his job was COO, a regular COO in Huntsville would probably make closer to $10K a month, not 30. So I say that to say, generally, when you're hiring a consultant, they charge you more because of the expectation that you're there to turn the company around. And once it's done, they hire someone at the market rate, not at the exorbitant rate. Just wanted to clarify that. All right, here we go. Ooh. Here we go. All right, next up and finally, Cardi B. Now, give me one quick second here because I'm about to pull this up because I need to make sure I can show y'all this little picture that's pissing me off. Here's the thing about Cardi B too. Whenever Cardi gets on live hollering, I always know, oh shoot, what did Offset do now? Every time she be on that live hooping and hollering, okay? Offset done gone off, because I will never forget watching her on live in December, which I'm gonna play for you. We're gonna roll it on back. Oop, there we go. And then below that is, here we go. Let me see if we get that there. All right, here we are. I'm just putting this up there. Drives me crazy that it does this. And okay, hold on. Where'd it go? Okay, guys, here we go. I'm just trying to put this video back up on the screen because you need to see. You need this. We need this. Share. Here we are. This is critical. All right. So with Cardi B, we are going to move over to and here we go. Ciao. Okay. Cardi is about sick of Offset, honey. She went all the way off. And at this point, what she is upset with, apparently it appears that the two of them are going back and forth. They're arguing. He's upset that she's moved on and that she's dating. And her response is basically like, hey, it ain't no fun when the rabbit's got the gun. That I have taken all of this cheating and foolishness from you. So that, there we go. I've taken all this cheating and foolishness from you, and here you are now wanting to cut up and act a fool with me. And she said, I'm not having it. Specifically, what has really pissed Offset off is that apparently Cardi done found her another man, and she done let that man nut all over that little baby's head in her belly. Okay, she got that baby in her belly. Her new man is nutting all on that baby's head. Okay, and she is not ashamed of it. Look at this, y'all. So this was her in the live. In her live, she's going on about how she's moved on. Offset said, you effed with a baby inside your belly. Tell the truth. Child. Then she posts a message that says, and did. And did. I sure did. And did. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So she says, and did, as though like, yeah, what are you going to do about it? which really pissed him off even more. Here we go. Yep, you did this with a baby inside. And did. It's like a ghetto soap opera, y'all. It's like a ghetto soap opera. This poor baby. I hope he looked like Offset. I don't know what happens when you do that. I don't know if do the jeans mix up or I don't know. I don't exactly know how to do it. But so that was kind of the origin of this argument. But she says, you know what? You mess with my friends. And I can't play the video because she's cussing so much. But she's basically saying, you mess with my friends. You mess with my ops. At least I'm loyal to you in that I would not mess with your ops or any of that. And I just wanted to take this video back to just track what was going on. Now, the two of them were dating. I'm sorry, they were married during the pandemic. And I have here on the screen, where was it? Here we are. I'm going to put up, y'all, I got her little divorce documents. We're going to put them back up. Her divorce is, let me say, it should be right here. Oh, it should be here. Here we go. And there we are. All right. So back in 2020, Cardi B was about sick of his cheating, sick of his behavior. And so she decided, here we are, she decided to file for divorce from Offset. Now, this was filed in September of 2020. In it, she claims there's irreconcilable differences. She states that she wants to divorce from him, blah, blah, blah. They're a resident. This is a pretty standard divorce filing. Not too much special in there. But what was interesting that I wanted you to see, she files this in September and states that they only have one child together because at the time they did, and then dismisses it in November, 3 months later. During the course of this, remember, she had the concert where he comes on stage during her concert with flowers, like trying to beg her back, like, baby, baby, please take me back. Take me back. Somebody said she sent him a video of her and the new boo in the act. I believe it. That sounds like something she'd do if she's mad, because she said when you mess with somebody over and over again, they will do unthinkable things to get you back. So here she filed for divorce in September, dismissed it in November, gets pregnant with her son weeks later. Okay, he was conceived in December. Now, part of the tea is that, and then this past December, she announced that she wanted to divorce him again. She was upset with him again. I'm going to play you that clip, which was truly heartbreaking. Oh, shoot.
Yo,
No,
this motherfucker
sorry,
really likes to play games with me when I'm at my most vulnerable time, when I'm not the most confident.
Hold on.
They like
Start it over. You got to hear this from the beginning. Oh, this broke my heart.
Because you will fucking talk to and a motherfucker will play in your fucking face, over and over and over and over and over again. And she'll be like, watch what I'm about to do. Watch what I'm about to say. And it's so fucking sad that a nigga like to, yo, this motherfucker really likes to play games with me when I'm at my most vulnerable time, when I'm not the most confident. He likes to play games with me because he knows I'm not an easy girl. He knows. Yesterday, I could have been out. I could have been chilling. I could have been this and that. He knows I'm in my house. He knows that I'm chilling. He knows I'm not doing the most. And I've really been sparing you. You've been fucking feeling yourself, you bitch ass, because of your bitch ass album and shit. And you've really been fucking doing me dirty after so many fucking years that I motherfucking helped your ass. Not even a fucking thank you that I got for your bitch ass. And it's so crazy that I gotta go to the fucking internet because whenever I tell you something, you don't take shit serious.
When I tell you she was done, that was in December. But I guess she wasn't all the way done because it took her until August to file for divorce. But let's be clear on what she was upset about. This was in December of 2023. Here is what she was mad about. So these girls, and I don't know if it's girl on the left or girl on the right. I don't care. One of these little girls is a little chick named Jade. Who is Jade? Her literal op. In 2022, Cardi B pled guilty to a misdemeanor assault because this girl was having an affair with Offset, and she had someone else beat the brakes off of her. Now, because she's too classy and can't just be squabbing, understandably, I thought it was really nice and kind of her friends, to do so on her behalf. It was very queen pin of her. So, but the courts discovered that she orchestrated it, to have her friends do, her dirty work, which can't be mad at. And so in turn, she pled guilty, and I believe it was December of 2022. She had to do community service. And then the other part of the agreement was that she could not be anywhere near this woman in the same area of this woman or the other victim, which was the woman's friend, for 3 years. This is Offset's birthday party in December. Cardi B was upset because Offset invited Jade to his birthday party and then tried to play dumb about it. Here's the venue, same venue. He's here and she's over there with her friends. Sir, we are not stupid. It says Jade, the woman that Offset cheated on Cardi with over 5 years ago, was spotted at his 32nd birthday party in Miami. They were at the venue with each other until 5 a.m. He tried to say, oh, I didn't know she was going to be there. Let me tell you something. You got money. You got money. You don't have just money. You have money. So in other words, you could have orchestrated security. Get that broad out here. And by the way, kick her in her bottom. Kick her out of here. Baby, if you love me, you are going to beat up my ops. Well, not you, because men shouldn't hit women. But I know you got a cousin. You got a homegirl. You got that one butch person in your family. We all got one of them. They look like a boy, but they really a girl, and they can fight real, real good. Sick them. Sick them. I'm not advising that because I'm an attorney, and that might be against the legal rules. But hypothetically, I'm saying. Hypothetically. We only got 360 likes. Y'all hit that button. I'm just saying, like, for me, that would tip me over the edge too. Now, this was prior to her being pregnant. So that means she took him back and it ends up getting pregnant with the third one. But I want to be clear that what this means in the legal context is if Cardi B would have showed up to her own husband's birthday party, she would have been arrested. See, the law doesn't care who got there first. So even if Cardi B had been partying at Offset's table, and those girls come in and they're allowed in and they get to say, either those girls could call the cops and be like, hey, I have a restraining order against her and she's here and she's supposed to be there. The cops take Cardi to jail and ask questions later. That is like one of the most disloyal things. Somebody said, no, she was pregnant. Okay, so I don't know. She may have been pregnant then as well. That might have also been, that's what I was thinking. It may have been why she did not. Well, no, let me see. That was December. So the baby would be due, if that was December, the baby would be due any day now, unless the baby comes late or something. So we'll find out when the baby's coming. But I also want, who has to leave in that case? Cardi, the person with the restraining order against them, is the only one who has to leave. The victim gets to go wherever they want. In fact, they can go. They can show up at the Golden Corral. You just got all your food from the buffet on your plate, and you got to leave your plate. You got to get on up out of there. Because all the police care about is, are you there? In fact, I have a client who she was charged with burglary because she crawled through her baby daddy's window and saw him with somebody else and then beat her up. She was like a extra small, and that girl was like a extra large. But she tore the brakes off that one. Anyway, she got a violation of probation because she one time called the baby dad and he put it on speaker, and she heard the woman talking mess about her and what she would do and how she'd beat her up if she ever saw her again and stuff like that. And she was calling her baby daddy to tell him whatever about the kids and had no idea the phone was on speaker. So I say that to say they don't give the benefit of the doubt. So Iris said, I'm glad she's over. So fast forward, she has a baby girl. Okay. So fast forward today, Cardi B done found her some man and let that man nut on the baby's head, if you know what I mean. You know, this is YouTube language. So y'all know what I mean. She done let her new man nut all on that baby's head, and Offset feels kind of some type of way. But isn't that how they always do? He didn't think she was going to go anywhere. But also, the tea is this. Cardi is the one who has built their empire. From that, what I mean by that is, of course, he makes good money, but he spends even more. So her philosophy is like, she's always scared kind of mentally of ever being broke and, you know, and having to not have, you know, all the opportunities that she has. So she's big on investing, real estate investing, this, that, and the third. Unless she forces it, he doesn't put his money towards any of those things. He puts his money towards bottles, parties, those things. So that's also been a part of the frustration of the relationship. That combined with, it's one thing to cheat. It's another thing to cheat with my literal op. The woman who got me almost locked up and taken away from our kids. And it's a whole different thing to cheat with who I thought was my friend. Both of y'all gotta go. It's a special place in hell for that type of man. Yes, Electric Lady said yes. She is the driven financial force. Hit that like, y'all. It says women who beat up other women when their man is the one in the relationship wrong are not being faithful. He'll always cheat. Oh yeah, because that's a great point. Southwest Houston is that I've seen that, like, what men will do is they'll turn you two women against each other. So then now y'all are fighting and they get to be relieved from the situation. As long as you're mad at someone else, then they can hide over here and skedaddle on and they don't have to take the heat. Or even if there is heat, it's not as much as if they were your only target. So they like to turn the women against each other. I'm also a big person, like, don't call over here playing on my phone talking about your man. When you know good and well you ain't going nowhere. Leave me out of this. If you want to leave me a voicemail, thank you, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. But I've always noticed the women that call and say, you know, my man's been calling you X, Y, and Z, they don't ever leave the man. Ever. So why are you bothering me? I'm going to leave. But not because you told me to. I'm going to leave because this is stupid. And I got better things to do with my time. And I don't like AIDS. That's what's going to happen if you keep playing around with these type of dirty dicks. Over and over again. Yes. Will he get alimony? No, I doubt it. I highly doubt it. In the prior divorce docs that I put up, I'm going to put them back up here. No, actually make them a bit bigger. Will he get alimony? It does not appear they had a prenup because there was no reference to requesting that the prenup be abided by. And two, no, I don't think he's going to get alimony because they have equal and similar earning potential. If you remember when I went over the Tyrese case, there we go. When I went over the Tyrese case, even though there was a prenup that entitled her to money, she did not receive any. And she didn't receive any in part because they found that she had gainful employment and that that she could easily get additional employment, and they didn't believe that she needed to rely on him for any money. So similarly, you know, he makes millions, blah, blah, blah. The state of Georgia really does not play that, especially Fulton County. And actually, I think that's where this is the Fulton or Gwinnett. I can't remember where Tyrese's case was as well. It says the women and the men are both wrong. They are. There's no such thing as the other woman bearing no blame. I agree. As women, we should realize that we are. Yeah, no, I'm just saying when you as a woman are calling the other woman's phone, it's one thing to call because you want more facts so that you can make a decision. But I don't think that the point of the call should be simply to, like, Barbara, this is Shirley. Like, it's more than that. It is so much more. Yep, we're getting those likes up. So thank you, everyone. There's a story in Houston of a man who dated two women. One had his child and the other was pregnant. He turned them against each other and one lost a foot and the other went to jail. Yeah, that sounds right. Those stories always end in Dateline. It's really sad. Exactly. These women are not scared of STDs and STIs. Yeah, I don't know. I guess they think, you know, Magic Johnson cured AIDS and it's not for the rest of us. No, baby. I've been to the CVS Minute Clinic and the majority of people in there are getting tested for something that itches. It says Simone acting like she never slept with her homegirl's man in law school. Oh my God, I love this driver's seat. So driver's seat is a troll, is a total troll. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for the engagement. I hope you hit that like button. Yes, Please watch your wording and so forth. Well, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Again, I'm your legal bestie, Attorney Simone. This is Girl, Is That Legal? Make sure you drop down below what other topics and stories do you want me to cover. Of course, I love doing it. And I'm also going to break this video down into separate segments. So if you just want to watch the Cardi B segment, you can do so. Take care and good night.